Hey everybody, I'm Tony and welcome back. This week we're going to do something a little different. Usually I do my beauty box unboxings here and that noise is my dogs. Their little chain is rattling against their food bowl. But anyway, so usually I talk about my makeup unboxings or maybe some of the geeky culture unboxings that we get. I talk about keto. I talk about a lot of different things on here. But this time, this video isn't going to be so one of my usually happy kind of topic videos. This is actually about something that affects my life. It affects my life every day. It's not a happy topic. It isn't. And let's just get right into it. This video is about dealing with depression. And when people hear that I deal with depression pretty much every day of my life, they're really shocked to hear that. Now, I am usually a happy-go-lucky person. I'm that person that's little abnormally happy, I guess is how you would explain it. I'm that one that's singing and dancing to themselves. I'm your cheerleader. I'm like, yes, you got this. How you doing? And always cracking jokes and smiling. And I actually had a manager who at first, when he first met me, told me that he didn't know if I was being for real or if I was being fake. Because as he said, nobody can be that happy all the time, Tony. And it took him a while to realize, no, this is really me. This is how I am. And I like being happy. I was raised by parents who were always taught to look for that silver lining, and being happy is important to get health and that sort of stuff. And so I live my life like that. But once people find out why I deal with depression, on what level I deal with it, then they understand. And that is that my husband he suffers from depression. He is a severe depressive. He has been diagnosed as one. Takes medication, he does all that stuff. Now, this is what you need to understand about my husband. I've known him for a very long time. We knew each other back in high school. We weren't like good friends and that sort of stuff, but we knew of each other back in high school. You know, he knew who I was, I knew who he was. We had mutual friends in common, you know, that kind of person. It wasn't until we ended up working at the same place. Oh my God, and it was so long ago. I started working there, I think I was 23, so when I was around 24, I'm 50 now, so we've known each other at that place for about 26 years now. Wow, that's a long time. So anyway, so that's when we became really good friends. We started getting to know each other, and then we knew each other for about 10 years before we started dating. And we are actually celebrating our 16th wedding anniversary here in a few weeks, and we've been together for about 18 years. Now, I knew my husband suffered from depression. Well, I didn't know that he was diagnosed as depression because you know what? Pretty much we all suffer from depression. We do. Everybody suffers from it. There are times where I get depressed and I kind of let myself kind of wallow in it for a little while, and then I slap myself and I say, okay, Tony, that's enough. You need to get out of this funk and get back to yourself. And I deal with it and I go on. But what I've learned in dealing with my husband is not everybody is wired like that. Some people can't snap themselves out. Some people can't capture the thoughts. I've heard that phrase so much. They can't capture the thoughts and put themselves on that track to happiness. No matter how hard they try, they can't. And what this video isn't about depression itself. I'm not a doctor, I'm not a psychologist, I'm nothing like that. I did take psychology classes in college. That was my major at the end of it. And I think that's why it helps me deal with my husband a lot better and easier, is because I can understand some of the stuff. But what this video is basically, and I know it took a while for me to get to this point, is how to deal with a spouse who has depression. Most importantly, there's one rule that you need to keep reminding yourself when you're married to someone who suffers from depression, or being with someone who suffers depression. It could be a child, it could be a parent, it could be somebody, okay? And that number one rule that I had to learn is, it's not because of you. It's not. And what I mean by that is, I know my husband suffers depression from his own issues, his experiences, that sort of thing. But I was naive when I married him, and I thought, you know what? I'm such a happy, peppy person. I can make his world happy. I can bring happiness into it and joy and keep him on track, and he won't suffer from depression ever again because we'll make the perfect life and the perfect house. I'll be that perfect wife and everything will be happy. There will be no reason for him to suffer from depression. I was that naive. I was that naive. And even though I knew it in the back of my head, it took a while for me to finally realize no matter what I do, if someone is truly suffering from depression, like he is, severe depressive, diagnosed on medication, going to doctors, nothing I do is going to get him out of that. Nothing. He needs to come to that realization. I can help make things better. I can take care of things so he doesn't have to deal with it. I can, when I see him going into these moods, I can try and distract and deflect. That's what I call it, distract and deflect. I try to throw something else in his path. I try to guide him away from where I know he is. Once he gets into that area, there are little things I can try to do to try and lessen it. But ultimately, I cannot stop him and go, no, we're not going there, because if he wants to, he's going to walk right through me and go over there. And that was a really hard lesson to learn and truly understand and truly accept. I figured if I was a perfect wife, there would be no reason for him to be depressed. Everything was taken care of. And look, I'm the first one to say I am not the perfect wife. I tried. I did. I am not that stay at home, loves to cook, loves to clean, just, June Cleaver is what I'm thinking. I am not June Cleaver. I am the first one to admit I am not June Cleaver. I hate cooking. I hate cleaning. I only do it because I have to. And honestly, if I can get someone else to do it, sure, go ahead, cook for me. Any of you want to cook for me? Please go ahead. But I tried for a time there to be that person, and it didn't affect it. It didn't affect it at all, because he just found something else. If A is a trigger, if you think A is a trigger, you can get rid of A somehow or make it so he doesn't notice it, but then he'll go focus on B. There'll always be something there that will cause that depression. And so being that perfect wife did not work. Which is good, because like I said, I am not that perfect wife. I'm the interesting wife. Let's just put it that way. So I had to learn that it's not me. It's not me. I cannot make things perfect for him. I cannot keep him out of depression. I can hopefully try and be there with him. And that's the thing is, we're not the answer. We are that little buddy that hangs out with them. You know what I mean? While he's going through this, I try to be there for him. If I realize that he's going down a certain road, I know what's going to happen. And so I start preparing myself for that. Okay, well, when he goes into this phase, this is what happens. If there's something that can kind of bring a little joy to his life, I'll try and get that in order. Otherwise I just brace myself and, okay, here we go. We're going to go through this ride again. We can do this. And we do this. And I'm not going to say that it's been great and it's been cheery and we've come out stronger and it's been wonderful, because it hasn't. It hasn't. Being with somebody who's depressive, it's like this a lot. It is. But it's a roller coaster, okay? But what you have to understand is, being on a roller coaster is there's room for at least two people on that roller coaster. And even I have a roller coaster, and he's my roller coaster buddy. And so I have designated myself as his roller coaster buddy. And we help each other out. We do. There have been some really low points in our relationship, and there have been times, I'm not going to lie, that I thought to myself, oh my gosh, can I do this? Is it worth it? Are we going to get through it? And I realized, he won't be fixed. Chances are he won't be fixed. You really can't fix somebody who's that deep in depression. I just hope that you have more good days than bad days. I hope that it never gets to that point, and you all know what that point is. I just pray for that. And while I have him, we're going to have a good time. And that's the way it is with everybody. While you have everybody in your life, you're just going to hope for a good time, good experiences, and be there for each other. You want more good days than bad days. But I understand there's a lot of bad days. And sometimes, you wake up and you're like, okay, how's this? You hope it starts out as a good day, it ends as a good day, because there are a lot where it starts as a good day and then bam, get a phone call in the middle of the day, it's gone bad. And it's a roller coaster. But remember, you're not on this roller coaster ride by yourself. But you also have to understand, you are going to have to deal with this. And there was a while there that I ended up getting into a depressive mood because of that. And I had to get help. I luckily had friends who kind of know about this. A lot of good friends who were there for me, who just let me vent, and I eventually pulled myself out of it, and which was great because I have to be that strong person. We always joke that I am the Tigger to his Eeyore, and so I need that. I needed to be that person for him. I'm that hope. I am that hope. I really am that hope. You know, whenever we come in a new situation, he's always the doom and gloom. He's looking at the bad part. Well, what if this happens? Da 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 this, and he goes off that road. And I'm the one. But what if this happens? And this is great. And da da this. And so, you know, eventually we kind of meet in the middle. But yeah, what I wanted to really bring out in this is it's not you. It's not. If it was you, we would all take care of our loved ones and everything be great, and they would never hurt. They would never have those feelings, fears ever again. And the phrase capture those thoughts would actually work, and it'd be great and wonderful, but it's not. You just need to be there for them. You need to be that support. You need a support. You cannot be on this ride of supporting somebody who suffers from depression by yourself. You need somebody that you can vent to. You need somebody that you can talk to. You need somebody you can turn to and just go, oh my God, I don't know what to do. And they just give you that hug. And I have a friend that I've known for a while. I have a few friends at work, and they know when I'm feeling that way. And they'll give me the hug that I need. They don't even have to say something sometimes. They just give me that hug, and I'm like, okay, I'm not by myself. There are a lot of groups. You can find groups on the internet, on Facebook. Every single social media has groups for people not only suffer from depression, but people who support those. Support groups for the support for people with depression. And you need to go find those types of groups. I will put some links down below that can kind of help lead you there. You just need to find the right group. Remember, not every group is perfect for everybody. So just find your support group. Sometimes it's easier on the computer because you can really just let go, because these people don't really know you. You can just let go. I know somebody who has a fake profile, and that's what it is, just so they can just vent and people can support them, but nobody really knows who they are. If you need to do something like that, do something like that. But find somebody, okay? It is very hard to have a loved one and see them go through that. It breaks your heart. And one of my lowest points in my life was when we had hit the lowest point, when he had hit that lowest point. And I'm just going to give a little story. The first time that my husband was hospitalized, I remember he was going through a really bad spell, and my doctor was like, you need to get him to the hospital. We went, we took him to the hospital. He was hospitalized for a week, and it was our first time really going through something like that. And then they let him out and said, well, find him help. And I had never seen him that bad. I had never seen him that depressed, and he had no hope at this point. And I remember I'm calling all these psychiatrists, and I'm trying to get help, but everybody's telling me it's like 3 months out, 3 months out, 3 months out. And I remember, you know, oh gosh, I can't remember what, maybe this is like the 11th, 12th person I called. And I called them and I go, look, I need to get him in. He just got out of the hospital after being in there a week. I was told I need to find a psychiatrist, and I really need to find somebody. And they're like, well, you know, they gave me the usual 3 months, and I just broke down. I broke down and I started crying, and I told the lady, I go, 3 months? I go, I don't even know if I have 3 days. Heck, I don't even know if I have 3 hours. And that was probably one of the lowest points in my life. And luckily, the woman heard the anguish in my voice, and she's like, you know what, sweetie? She goes, hold on. And she comes back and she goes, can you have him in here in a couple hours? And I'm like, yes. And that doctor was amazing. Thank you, Dr. Bowler. And we've actually had an interaction throughout life. We get reconnected somehow with Dr. Bowler's office. But they are amazing people. And he was our angel. He was our angel. But this isn't a ride I would wish on anyone. It is extremely hard. And knowing that we will be on this roller coaster for the rest of our lives is hard. But when you love someone that much, you'll be roller coaster buddies for life. And I just wanted to give support to people who are in my shoes. You are a great person to take this on. And it will beat you senseless sometimes. And hopefully you will come out of it and you will realize your roller coaster buddy is worth it. But above all, remember, you are not the cause of that depression. And you cannot solely pull them out of it. Okay? You can be the perfect person and they still would go through it. You be the best person you can for you. Don't forget about yourself either. Do not forget about yourself. And just know that I love you. I don't personally know you, but I know your cause. I know your plight. And I love the fact that you're there for this person. So there will be links down below. If you don't have anybody right now, there are links down below. Please find a release. It is very important in such a heavy topic. But, like I said, when you have good days, they are very good days. And it's those good days that keep me going. So, on that note, I hope you guys have a good day. And I will try not to make so many of these sad videos. But you know what? It's part of life. It is. And I'm very much a open book on things. And I really thought somebody could use this because there was a while where somebody came and told me that rule. And it helped a lot. So, I will see you guys next time. Have a great day. See you guys next week. And adios. Bye.